Mic checking, mic check, mic checking, mic check. Miking with the checks. God, I feel like this audio is still low. What are we going to do about this? What are we going to do about this? Can we add a upward compressor? No way. We're going to have to add some gains. Add mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. How's the audio, everybody? Because I am not using this big old stupid mic over here. So let me know how the audio is. I feel like the audio is running through, well, not. Yeah, different audio setup this morning. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully better than it was last time. Hopefully better than it was last time. All right, let's jump in. Today better. Hey, good. All right. So funny. Run the audio through my iPhone as a microphone, and yeah, and it works better than my my stupid whatever. All right. Okay, let's go Bitcoin. Let's go Bitcoin. Yes, we did end up smoking those equal highs yesterday, and that seemed pretty obvious. Let's play some different time frames here. Looks like a pretty decent initiation to me. Looks like a pretty decent initiation to me. Yeah, it does. It really does. It really does. And let's see. I think yesterday. Yeah, I think yesterday. Well, hold on. First of all, we weren't even on this chart. I think we were on this chart, and it doesn't matter because I already deleted the stuff I was going to talk about off of that chart. So let's just go back to the. Let's just go back to. Oh, good Lord! Just give me a Bitcoin chart, for the love of all things good. Okay. Yeah, we had a little section of supply in here that I was indicating yesterday, saying like, hey, that's institutional involvement. That created a fairly precipitous drop to the range low. So if they plan on defending those positions, likely to come out of that area. And it kind of just blew right through that area, like just right through it, right? Which to me says that whoever, the institutional involvement that got short here, closed here. They were not defending that position anymore, right? So that was good. That was good. We like that. Pretty strong 4-hour candle body close above there. Hop down to the 10-minute, and what I really liked about this presented late yesterday. Oh, this was probably right about that FOMC time, huh? Yeah, was this? This was really good. This was really good. That was very, very healthy for an initiation. To come down and remove any liquidity prior to coming up and breaking that range high was a fairly important thing to do, right? That was a fairly important thing to do. And so after we initiate and we come down and we mitigate, I mean, Bullyberry's on the stream, so I know both me and him would have preferred that action, obviously, because that's just as easy as it'll ever get in our lives. But we are this to me still represents a back test of the overall prior trading range, and demand, right? Demand in this area as well. So yeah, super happy with that. I added to my long this morning. I think it was a little lower actually. I added to my long this morning because that just looked good. Looked like I was like, yeah, this is what I wanted out of initiation. So let's send it. All right. Let's just go take a look up here before I get all ahead of myself. Let me play with some different time frames here. All right. So the very first point in time in which you could say that we formed a top and broke some structure is going to be right here. I would say that is the very first point in time you could say, okay, a top was formed, which the top on ETH, oh my God, it was so beautiful. I actually traded it, and I have no recollection of the last time I traded ETH. It could be over a year. Retracement began out of this area. Can we come and crack this high today? I think that's the real question that I'm asking. Can we take out 87,500? I think so. I think so. I think so. I'm gonna take a look at some kind of volume sort of statistics in here. I mean, that looks pretty healthy. Let's get this other volume on. Yeah, so a lot of longs coming in on this low. Lots of longs coming in on that low. Flipping the delta big time. Okay, and then boom. Yeah. Yeah, and then we see a decent amount of bearish volume step in here, which makes sense because people are looking at this prior break interaction with it. You get a decent amount of bearish volume coming in, but that was immediately it couldn't take you anywhere. All it did was take you back down into demand. And then hold demand. Hold demand right here. We see a flip in delta again. Good, more significant bullish volume coming in on this candle. I mean, I don't want to see these longs underwater right now. No, I don't want to see those longs underwater at all. Yeah. So, I mean, I honestly, we probably don't even make it down to that zone, because we just could be holding this in general. I was looking at this tiny little order block on the 2-minute time frame right here, going, oh, can we snip that little sucker? But we could easily just like roll right up from here. Are we going to resist there? Like maybe. This candle right here to me is an important candle today. Where these bulls stepped in at, we're just looking at the Bybit chart, right? Or the Binance chart. I don't even know why I'm on the Binance chart, but that's what we're looking at today. So 2,370 Bitcoin come in long, inside of this candle right here. And so in the event that supply were to work, well, it's going to have to overcome this bullish volume here. So I'd be paying attention to about that zone right there in the event that we come up for something like this. I don't think that would not be a good look. That'd not be a good look because you left this low behind. Because you left that low behind. So I think that's something that we can kind of watch out for in the interim. Potential scalp in there, like a scalp short in there. I don't know if that matches my risk profile though. It would be a little. I would consider that not to be pro trend to even try and scalp out of there. So. I don't know if that matches my risk profile. So I think I might stay away from that one. Oh my God. See, this is the problem. I just get on and I start blabbing, and then I look over to my right, and there's like all these chats and all these people. All right. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Zena. Good morning, Richard Price. Top of the morning, Bullyberry. Of course, Kulat, Janice Abolus, Luke Zaldania. I did get some sleep last night. Oh my God, did I get some sleep last night? It was so good. Freezy, David Koo, Alex, the legend, Beauty Long Dong Silver. Let's see here, Kurosama. What's up, Antono? We got long at 85,300 on the live. Good times. Yes, absolutely. I did trade it. ETH. We're going to take a look at it. I did trade ETH. It was hilarious. I couldn't resist this, bro. I could not resist this. I was looking at this going, I honestly totally thought I was going to lose the trade because it's ETH, right? And I'm like, I would take this 10 out of 10 times on Bitcoin blindfolded. I would take this trade 10 out of 10 times on Bitcoin blindfolded. And I was like, on ETH, it's not going to work. Watch, it's not going to work. And it fucking worked. It fucking worked. I was like, dude, I can't hardly believe it. I can't, because we were looking, yesterday we were generally looking at at this area of resistance, hoping to see a high form and a retracement back into the prior range for a long, right? Which is absolutely still on the table today. Only trouble is ETH is a bastard and it likes to front run all the time, so it may not make it down to there. Anyway, so we're coming up into supply last night, and I see things kind of get a little. I think they were, it was pretty late date, right? 4:30. So just prior to like Asia Open and stuff, things just didn't seem like it had the steam to crack that high. I was like looking at the 2-minute time frame or something. And I was like, okay, so we SFP the high that was created probably during the FOMC meeting or something. We come right around and we lose this. I'm like, I see the trailing liquidity. I'm targeting the low. I'm going, well, if the low breaks, cool. I don't really care. But I was like, I'm gonna send this thing, and I'll be damned. I'll be damned. I was very freaking proud of myself on that one. I was very well. I mean, I guess not proud of myself because it's just basic TA. I can't claim that I did anything spectacularly fancy on this, but I think more than anything, I was proud of myself for actually taking an ETH trade because I normally refuse to do that. I guess we did talk about it lifting out of this zone too. This last sell to buy that created that inefficiency right there. We did talk about a long out of there potentially as well. Anyways, moving on. What the hell do y'all want to talk about? What in the hell do you all people want to talk about? I guess I can back up and see if we can find any potential re-entry points here. See, I wanted to pick on this. I don't know. I'm not. It's this little bugger right here. It's this little bugger right here. If this was a better inefficiency coming out of here, I would almost say, in the event that price returned to here and did incur a little retracement, a potential scalp off of that area might not be a bad move. But I'm not super confident about that, so I'm deleting it all. Where can we trade this from? My opinion, slightly tough positioning, because as usual here, let me get some, let's get a fresh look at this. So we have set a high and we have set a low. Okay, so let's take a look at that as a range of price, and let's be aware that we are at the equilibrium of that range of price. So like a return to discounts, a return to discount would be sweet, but I just don't know if we get a return to discount. That's where this guy was looking okay. If we could break the high, it was looking okay. Yeah. So what does that mean? What does that mean? If price is going to continue up here, if it just continues to go up, well then I would rather wait for an initiation and then catch a back test back into this range. I would rather wait for, if I wasn't already long, this is absolutely what I would be waiting for today. That is 100% what I would be waiting for. If I wasn't already long, and I am already long, and I may, I don't know. I mean, a bit like I might add if we get something that clean. I don't know. Let me back up a little bit. Let's get the hell off of the 2-minute time frame here. Yeah, I guess I still have to add. It's not that bad. Because I'm just like my primary, or not my primary target. Primary target to me is always like target 1. But like my final target for this long is still up here. Yeah, it's still up there. Okay. I asked what you guys wanted to look at, and then I never looked back. I think Sui and INJ are a good look today. Let's take a look. Sui, INJ, and render. And I do want to really quick before we move on to that. Let me get over to like Coinbase. Let me wipe this chart. Well, maybe not wipe it. Maybe not wipe it, but like I wanted to look for something. What I have been waiting for this whole time. Let me go to the like the 6 hour time frame. What I have been waiting for this entire time is for something. Ah, dang it, that's just not. I'm looking for this. I've been ever since we lost this, I have been looking for this. And I don't think we're quite there yet. No, in order for that to happen, we would almost need to do that. Yeah, I'm still looking for something very much like this to occur before I start yelling at everybody again to go get on their bowling suits. Okay, so but anyways, it's not quite there yet. I was looking at this. I was looking at this, thinking like, oh, are we there? Are we there? We kind of are actually. It's pretty close. We might be right here. It's pretty close. I'm just saying. My spidey senses are tingling. My spidey senses are tingling, y'all. Let's go look at Sui. Yeah, let's go look at Sui because we were looking at Sui yesterday. Weren't we looking at Sui yesterday? I feel like we were looking at Sui yesterday. I feel like we was looking at it. Ah, not quite the initiation I was hoping for. Not quite the initiation I was hoping for. Well, let's go back here for anybody that was not joining me yesterday. Yes, I do still think Sui is in a really good place. You go out to that daily chart and label your stuff correctly. It looks pretty good, right? Let's go to the weekly chart. I mean, it looks pretty good to me, man. Looks pretty. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty damn good. Looks pretty good. What does an oscillator even say on this thing? I mean, like, yeah, it does not look. It does not look hateful. This could be a little better. That could be a little better. But yeah, I still want to see. The problem that we had identified with this one yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, was we had not returned 4 hour market structure to bullish. Now we're getting really close. Um, Getting really close. I'm just not fully. Hold on, blank, blank. No indicators, please. I'm not fully sold on this as a break of this yet. I'm not fully sold. No, I'm not fully sold. And we're just creating some liquidity problems along the face of this still. If we drop down to the 15, it just it doesn't hold. Oh, way too blue. Way too blue. Just everything go away. Stop so I can read. Go get out of my life. Go away. Okay, it's better. Um, all these kind of deep mitigations into the prior lows. Um, all the like it's really getting down pretty deep as it's coming into these. It just really means that if you can't crack this high right here, you got a short on your hands. Um, you got a short on your hands if you can't crack that high. I think this thing is getting very close to ready. It's my current problem with it is just it's still all this. It's all this stuff. This is the one thing I like the most about it. That's a pretty fucking sexy bottom. It's a pretty sexy bottom, but this local area price right here is still looking really fragile to me. So much to the point where I am gonna look at the gap. No, there's no that is resistance right there. There is supply right here. Um, Yeah, I'd be careful at that $2.50 high. You could set a daily low off of that. Um, I'd be a little hesitant there, but I do think this thing is really getting prepped up. It's really getting prepped up. I need to see price away from this. I need to see it. It's a liquidity issue right here that the bears can really take advantage of. Now, if price just decides to come up into an area like this and then start to kind of reaccumulate, redo some stuff, like I'm going to feel a lot better about this remaining down here, because I'll look at this and go, okay, well, bulls stepped in, man, so let's give the bulls a chance to do their thing before we just shit on their parade and assume that they're not capable of it. But I really want to see an initiation up out of here before I would be confident involving myself in any trades off of theoretical lows that might present like that, right? In the meantime, right now, I just don't have good enough initiation above here, and I've got liquidity problems along the face of this, and I still have some resistance above. So I'm a little hesitant on this one. This actually looks more like a short to me today. But overall, again, I'm 100% on the line with, I think Piper, somebody was saying Piper was covering that the other day. Alex was saying he thinks that's in a good position. I do not disagree with those people. I think that is in a very good position. Weird place to add. Let's see here. I think SUI and INJ are a good look to. Oh yeah, INJ was the other one. INJ was the other one. I haven't been on the INJ chart in a while, so that'll be fun. It's been a while. What were we even looking at? That's what we was looking at. All right. Cool. Cool. How low did she go? How low did she go? She even got into the nice little juicy center section. Not the juiciest little tip of it, but she got in there. She got in there. Okay, cool. So daily market structure still bearish. Let's get some of that stuff out of the way. Daily market structure still bearish. Really doesn't become bullish until here. And there is still resistance right on top of that. That pitiful lone. It's so lonely down there. It's missing its dancing partner. That's so unfortunate. Why'd the market do that to you, INJ? That was rude, man. That was rude. Rude, dude. What volume did? What did the volume do down here? We have a significant buy up on that low. Oh, Alex, you know what I'm looking for? What I'm looking for, and I appreciate you sending me the information you did on that volume tool. What I am looking for is I'm looking for a way to like essentially take a tool, and I don't know if anybody makes this, and draw a range like from here to here, right? And then what I want to see is I want to see the total delta of the volume in this range. So from this point to this point, are we net positive or are we net negative? And if so, by what quantities? That's the information I am still looking for. I would love to be able to find that information. So again, like the total volume of the range, like oh, it was just the total volume of it and its delta of volume. God, I would love to have that information. That'd make my life pretty cool. Anyways, we were doing INJTA. We weren't blabbing about indicators. Okay. That didn't help me. What were we doing? We're on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so our 4-hour high is right here. We're having some trouble with it. Give me my magnet. We're having a little bit of trouble with it. Let's go investigate this on the 15 because we hit the high and we didn't clear it, but what happened? Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, that's I will say that this is fairly bullish, right? Because you did deviate the 4-hour high. you did deviate it. And after deviating it, you did break like 15-minute structure, right? And then you did come back up into newly formed supply. Let's just get through this real quick. I just wanna look at this, right? So you did get back through newly formed supply, and you did out of that set a new low, right? It did set a new low, and that all starts to look like I mean, like, those are all the kinds of things that I would look for rotation from the top of a range to the bottom of a range. But it didn't do that. It didn't even come down into discount. It didn't even come down into discount. So that's a good look. We do have removal of liquidity prior to a return to bullish structure. We do have a break that this is where we return our 15-minute to bullish, right? Which is newly formed demand sitting right under, sitting right down here. That's newly formed demand. And we have initiated from that demand. We have returned to mitigate that demand. And upon doing so again, I'm assuming this is this morning, early this morning, we double bottom back into the demand on the 15-minute time frame, breaking your 15-minute structure again, coming up out of demand. And so, it sure looks like it wants to run to that high, doesn't it? Sure looks like that to me. You have an unmitigated 15-minute order block right here. I think this could easily be a long. I think you're way better covering the whole low. You could look to cover just that 15-minute order block. But I think that could easily be a long right there. And again, like I want to reiterate the weakness of the bears. You swept a 4-hour high. You broke structure. You retested supply. You set a new low. And then the bulls arrived. Before you could ever take this low out or challenge the range low down here, the bulls stepped in and brought it back up. That's a fairly bullish sign. Let's go see, because we're down into this thing. Let's go see. Let's go take a look here. I mean, so your structural confirmation for this trade doesn't exist until here. That would be your structural confirmation on that trade. What's volume do in this area? We get a. It's trying to flip the delta. It's trying to flip the delta here. Again, structural confirmation doesn't exist until up there, and I would feel pretty confident about it. In all reality, I would feel fairly confident about that. Go away, you little arrow. Go away. But yeah, good look, Alex. Good look. Yeah, because I would say flowchart wise, if you can, yeah, that could very well start a domino effect right there. That high could start a domino effect. It's a moderately bearish approach down to this section of demand, which is why structural confirmation is the way more safer way to play that. The way more safer way to play that. In my opinion, that would be the way more safer way to play that. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I think once, for me, it helps when I go, okay, I hate the fact that this low is down here by itself. And so, like where bull. And so for me, it helps to really look at how orders flowed inside of this range. yeah, that helps me. That helps me. That made me feel better about this lonesome low down here. I still don't like it. Do not get me wrong. I still don't like it. But it made me feel better about it. What's Bitcoin up to? What time is it? 5. Bitcoin. What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, we're still on. What the hell is this? Get me to some candles that I want to read. What I want to look at the all-time high. What are we doing? Oh no shot, huh? All right. Well, that is not particularly great. It's not particularly great because you have that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. You had a little bit of a internal break. This is not really a break of external structure. Your external structure exists over here. Um, and then, so what do I mean by that? I'm saying that implies that you added some strength to that high by grenading the low like that. And so a return to the high and failure to clear said high then creates weakness on this lonesome baby low that is sitting all by itself. I'm just saying it does. I'm not saying it's not going to come back up out of here. That's a very much a possibility as well. But it gives me some pause. It gives me some pause. Failure to clear that. Weakness here. This low is all by itself anyway. Gives me a little bit of pause. Gives me a little bit of pause. Low key makes me wonder if you could scalp this up here. Low key makes me wonder if you could actually scalp that thing. Not really my kind of trade because I don't think I would ever get anything structurally in there to confirm that. It's just kind of weird because like they just took out the market open players. Am I crazy? Bro, why do I feel like I'm losing my mind right now? Didn't market... My time is off on my computer, I think. Because this is 7:30 my time. Yeah, so it just rechallenged market open players. It didn't take them out. I can't say it took them out. But it definitely retested their entries. Definitely retested their entries. You did lose the structure of your range. I know that we're working on 1 minute time frame stuff, so please understand that that is not... we're using the 1 minute time frame. Take it with a grain of salt. But you did break the structure of your range right there. Yeah, low key, that makes me feel like you could scalp that to the low. I would, for me, I would absolutely have to have structure in here. Like I'd have to have structure in there to take that, because it would just not really be pro trend right now. But yeah, anyways, again, probably not what anybody asked for. What I miss? Oh no, you people, there's so many, there's so much in the chat. I'll catch up. I promise I'll catch up. Somehow I'm gonna catch up. Let's go peep on some render. Where are you at? Somebody was asking about render. Let's go to the daily. I feel like it's been a while since I've been here. Oh, okay. 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 Yeah, like that. Do we need anything on this chart? No, we could probably just delete everything here. Let's start with the weekly. Let's start with the weekly. So we can clearly see that we had a range of price here that broke up, and when it did, let me use some better tools. Let me zoom in here so that we can, maybe read this a little better. All right, so we form a range of price. Okay. Form a range of price. There's an important piece of information in this range of price that I'll be using later. So let's just play along with me. We're on the weekly time frame, right? So we form a range of price. We start kind of cruising up, whatever, probably break daily market structure there. that was your first break, because this is the lowest candle. So you break some structure there, probably like daily. You come marching up. We start crawling up into premium of this range, right? Start getting up into the premium section of the range, and we perform a retracement. And then that retracement kind of takes us back down into this prior demand range. You can't see it on the weekly time frame, but just bear with me, right? And then hits that. And then what happens is it creates an inefficiency that smokes this high. Never even returns to like sort of remitigate that high. But I want you to pay attention to this inefficiency on the weekly time frame. This one right here. Okay, that one right there. That was created by this demand range. This inefficiency on the weekly time frame that cracked this high was created by this demand range. Oops. I had too many highlighters and I wanted to delete them all, but that needs to stay. Nope, there I go again, deleting it. Okay, cool. So is it a logical place for a low? Yeah, sure, definitely logical place for a low. All right, daily still bearish until this point. Now let's cut it some slack. Daily is still bearish until this point. I'll only ever use the 4 hour to front run daily, and 4 hours already back on your side. So 4 hour has broken and has then broken again. All right, cool. So we've got 2 breaks on our 4 hour time frame. We put in a little bit of a high right here because we got a little bit of supply right here. We got a little bit of a high because we got a little bit of supply. You know what I'm saying? All right, and now upon an interaction with said supply, you come down to this is your most relevant low that you can take out next after that, and so far not so bad, right? And then furthermore, looking at this range of price here, you initiate out of it. Just what we were looking at on the weekly time frame exists right here. You form another demand range prior to taking a run at your high, and you create an inefficiency coming and breaking your high, return to your demand range, set a new high, enter supply up above you, come back down to retest. If you don't lose this 3.25, this high is weak. Okay, that high is weak on the 4 hour time frame. And so the moment the 15-minute is back on your side, you're coming for it. Where does the 15-minute return to your side? It returns to your side here. So risk to reward on that looking a little piss poor unless you just wanted to cover this wick right here, which I'd actually say you'd probably be safe doing that. 15-minute candle body close above there, cover that 15-minute wick low right there, and maybe a target up to that guy. Yeah, because so far we have interacted with supply, but demand is still holding. So demand may very well be in control on this asset, and it could continue to kind of go up and rock the mic a little bit. It does. I know I sound like a broken record, guys. There is still problems on the vast majority of these charts. There's still some problems I'd like to see corrected. I am not going to sit here and ignore a 4 hour break of structure. I'm not going to do that. But I'm also, and I'm going to follow the structure first. This is a liquidity problem. My primary signal is market structure. My secondary piece of information I use is supply and demand. My third, the lowest on the priority, is liquidity. So I cannot give this more precedence than I can give this. I have to give that more precedence. This shit scares the piss out of me down there, but 4-hour market structure is flipping. It's performed a second break. Where's our, and then our dailies clear up here. So let's look at that as, tell you another place I would like to long it from though is actually a purge of this low. Oh, that'd be sexy. But see, and then I don't know if I can't remember if I missed this. I feel like I did miss this. You did, so you break your range here. And you did come back and remove liquidity prior to coming up and breaking your range again. So there was actually a second range here is what I'm trying to say. And that second range SFP'd. Right, that second that's a pretty good look right there. That's a pretty good look right there. Yeah, that's a pretty good look. Yeah, you formed a second range, SFP'd, came up, broke the high. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I don't hate it. Don't hate it. Your current range of price is here, so can it do it again? Right? Can it do that same thing again? Pull some liquidity, and then run up and break the high. Be interesting to find out. Oh my God, I'm so behind on chat. The fact that you Oh yeah, no, I should. I'm happy about that. All right, let's see here. Can you show us what your process when entering a trade after the analysis? I struggle a bit when opening positions fast, trying to set up post-only limit order and having the price slip away. Any tips? Okay, so first and foremost, Kurosama, Alex Crypto is a goddamn legend at fine-tuning entries and risk management, right? And so he is probably this reference to post-only limit ordering and whatnot sounds very much like an Alex Crypto kind of thing. And maybe you just do that yourself, right? And I do not want to dismiss the power of taking the effort to execute a trade in that manner, but I do understand how it can make things a little bit complicated for you. So I'm going to tell you what I do, and I'm not going to necessarily suggest that you do what I'm doing because it's my we'll call it my professional opinion that the way that Alex executes his orders is superior to the way that I execute my orders. What do I mean by that? I mark it in, bro. I just mark it in. That's all. I mark it in. And it is, I honestly probably mark it out the vast majority of the time as well. And I understand that that costs me way more money on fees than maybe I need to be spending on fees. I get it. But like if we'll use this last trade that I executed. We look at the Bitcoin ad I made today. We can look at the ETH short I made last night. I literally just hit market sell. I just mark it in. I don't know. So like on this trade here, we'll go through a little bit more of the details. I was a little late to the game. I was not at the chart. I literally opened the chart and it was sitting here, and I was like, "Fuck, shit, short." In a perfect world, I would want to see this happen here, and then I would want to see a back test into here in the effort to fill any sort of limit position. But I would have marketed in right here had I been at the chart at the time. And there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is because here I have a pretty tight risk to reward to my range low on this specific trade. I have a fairly tight risk to reward to my range low. My range low in the event that I was able to actually market in around this area, I would have been at my 3R. So that's good enough for me to go full send. Now, if I'm like way down here for my break, and my risk to reward is all the way down to 1.64, this is where I go, I'm not going to take it unless I can get a retracement and something logical to happen on that retracement, because this number does not meet my risk to reward criteria. And so I would not market in have like at least I in this circumstance I have to have a retracement, because if I don't have a retracement, it's not going to meet my risk to reward criteria. But yeah, bro, and again, I mean this, guys. Like, I you need to really focus on the advice that Alex gives in that department. He is more educated than me in that department. He has more experience than me in that department. I would really be taking his advice on that and not mine. I'm a fucking goddamn rebel out here just slapping market orders on this shit. So listen to him. Did you enter off the internal break, Brew? Oh, on that ETH trade, I did. Yeah, I did. I took the internal on that, and I don't like taking the internal on it. But it's ETH, right? And so I'm like, I don't know if Kurosama, I don't like trend lines. So if you're talking about a Bitcoin, you fucking asshole. Oh well, it's fine. No big deal to me. So a trend line for me, I use all trend lines. To me, all they represent is stacking of liquidity, right? So now this trend line that I put on here a little loosey goosey. To me, this is really just a whole bunch of stop losses. So I don't look to a trend line like this for support. No. I look for a trend line like this to fail so I can trade in the opposite direction. So it's not that I don't like them. I like them. I'm aware of when liquidity is building in these directions, but I do not use them for support. No, I do not. I do not. I use them. I use them like more like how like Alex and Kyle use them, for looking more of it as a loss of momentum, right, or a break of structure. Yeah, that's what I do on those ones. That's what I do on those ones. So I'm not. Yeah, a fixed range volume profile, but delta instead. Sorry, I'm so behind on chat. Let me try and program it pretty fast. Oh my God, Kurosama thinks he can make one. Dumping right now. Yeah, yeah, dumping right now. Sure enough. Sure enough. Show enough. Well, of course, that comment could be this old. It could have been that old. I don't know. I'm way behind. All right. Yeah. See, no break there. No break on the render. What did Ton ever do? What did Ton ever do? Nothing that I wanted it to. That's fine. A non-confirmed trade is a safe trade. Because you didn't get to take it. Because you didn't get to take it. What's up with the WAP right now? What's up with the WAP? Where you at, WAP? WAP always hurts my face. What was up with the volume on that low? What was up with that? What do we know about that? Oops. No, please stop. Ooh, that's pretty dirty, man. That's pretty dirty. Do you see how now obviously I'm on the 1 minute time frame, right? Take everything I say with a grain of salt. But do you see how these three bearish candles right here, that came down 0.8%. Do you see how these three candles here contained less bearish volume than this one last candle that only came down 0.25%? This candle had 1,700 short Bitcoin in it, 400, 300, 200. And again, we're just on Bybit at the moment. So there's an opportunity. Like, all I'm trying to say is that these shorts right here are underwater. That's all I'm trying to say is that they sold pretty low. Pretty low. If you look at this as a range of price, they were selling kind of near discount. That makes me wonder if they're going to win that, or whether or not they're going to get absorbed and rug pulled. It does make me wonder. I have no idea. It's 1 minute time frame. Could absolutely go either direction. We do have failure at a high. We have lost some structure. A rotation down to there fits every rule in my book. It does fit every rule in my book, but that's a lot of bearish volume traded at a bottom. A bottom, a little tiny micro bottom, but that's a lot of bearish volume down there, and those bears could get their faces trapped. Maybe bad Trump news at his meeting today. Maybe. All right. Let's see. What's time check? 8:27. I should leave in like 3 minutes. So you're gonna type like super fast, and then like I can answer your question super fast, and then I probably gotta go. Is ETH gonna, bro? What is? Are you gonna actually hit my final target? My guy. And then are you going to convert into a long? My guy. What are we doing here? Long, in all honesty, is probably a bit lower. If it does work, it's probably a bit lower. But this little bastard coin has managed to gain my attention. Interesting. So if BTC does roll, if BTC does fail this internal high, hold on, let me go back out and I have to refresh my understanding of Bitcoin before I go. Internal low, so you break an internal low, but you just come down 2 demands. It's a failure on that high. It's the failure on that high. I will tell you this. Let's get a price label on this guy. 80, whatever, you can read it. 84,747. If you lose the 747, the market is likely going to recover all of that. Which is, as we were talking yesterday, it's like, yeah, we've managed to show initiation above our 4-hour high, but wow, we did remove some liquidity. It could recover. It could recover quite a bit of that. It really could. So I will say that I believe it is worth watching today to see if we can get, say, a 15 to 30 minute candle body below here. Ideally a little bit lower than that, and a retracement back up in, and then we could be potentially looking to short along these zones and peel off some manner of this liquidity down here. Maybe just set a new daily low. Maybe we don't actually take that out and structure still maintains a overall bullish stance. But maybe we just set a new daily low out of it. So I'd give 84,747 some attention. It's just an awkward internal low. But because the high just failed, if you break the low, yeah, we could clean up quite a bit of that liquidity. Yeah, we could. Where's the last alert set before we go, bro? Let's do that because I have none. I think I have like almost no alerts right now. Oh, Where's Mr. 1994? Because that did double CRV did double top yesterday and come down to its demand range. It did it. Let's set some alerts. Let's do that. First of all, is this even the chart I want? Let's go back. Yeah, whatever. Apparently it is. Apparently it is. I don't know why, but I don't want to use that chart. Whatever. We'll use it. All right. Well, first of all, I'm going to delete all this because all that stuff's pretty obvious to me without having to draw on the chart. So I don't need that. What I do need is I do need that alert that we just discussed here. Why do I feel like I've done nothing but turn the magnet on today and never turned it off? And why is that? Okay, so let's get this. I actually don't want that alert on the 30-minute time frame. I want it on maybe the 5 once per bar, and let's say look for short. Now that low could SFP the same way the high did, right? Same way the high SFP, the low could SFP. So I would both be looking for a short and even a potential run and removal of liquidity and a rotation back up to this high, right? So it's an important alert for me regardless. I think the only other alert I really need on this is this one at the moment. We'll call this local high hit. I don't know if I need any other alerts on Bitcoin after that. Let's maybe put one more here, and we'll say weekly high hit because it's the highest prices achieved this week. Maybe throw one there. But I don't think I really need much more than that on Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't think I need to. Yeah, big red can. Okay. Janice Obelisk, if that was meant for me, it don't count together. That's why it's so big, red and green, big red candle. I'm not so sure if you're referring to me or not, guys. But if you are, I just need a little bit more clarification. So I could answer that. And if you can type real fast, I'll answer it. And if you can't type real fast, you'll have to DM me in Discord. Because I am about to be leaving. Dude, let's go. Dude, let's go. Yeah, that's a pretty important low, man. I don't want to see that break. If that breaks, I'm going to end up getting stopped out of a long that I accidentally or whatever took somewhere down in this region, somewhere down in here. I'll end up getting stopped out of a very small profit on that, which is unfortunate because it'll end up being a small profit because I've added up here. And so if we break that and then start like cracking into my SL, I'll end up making next to no money on that. That's fine. No big deal. It is what it is. It is what it is. Just don't do that to me. Oh, in the indicators, when you showed the net volumes, okay, so let's get those on and then let's see if we can figure out what you're referring to. Because like I have indicators here. It's a couple of volume indicators here. And so you're referring to these. This is volume delta. I think this is just by TradingView. And so instead of showing just overall volume, instead of just saying, hey, there was 10K traded in this candle, it's saying that 10K, the delta of that 10K was positive. It was a positive delta, which is odd because that completely conflicts with this information here. But I'm just barely getting used to these tools. I haven't, used these a ton. But when I'm looking at delta, I'm looking for probably like some manner of absorption or divergence. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm after. But I've literally had this indicator on my chart for like this week, I want to say. I'm barely getting used to it. I'm just trying to do what I regularly do with just market structure alone, and I'm looking for some additional tools to add to my tool belt that that I can use in conjunction with some market structure rules. And I've just been playing around with some different volume stuff. But as far as it's for the big red candles. I mean, the big red candles are just, yeah, it's just like this here, according to the indicator. This candle had a negative 9K delta to it, right? So there was longs that happened in here. Um, I would say the total volume was 9K, but it was just, I don't know, short volume. I don't know. To be honest, maybe ask me in a couple of months and I might be able to answer better because I'm actively studying and learning this tool. Actively studying and learning it, right? Looking at things like these kind of divergences that it prints and just different stuff, just playing around. Anyways, I shouldn't be here. I should be driving to work right now. So you guys have a great day. I'm on out of here. Oh, I was going to take one more look at I was going to look at CRV because I don't know if our boy's in here or not. Maybe one last look at BTC too because I think that last trade idea I have, I think it's about to hit its target. Yeah, look at that. Somebody was stuck in a short on this yesterday, and I'm like, you want a double top right here, bro. You want a double top right there, and you want to lose the low, and that should at least get you back down into these areas. Boom! We got a double top from this Mr. 1994. Oh, would you look at that? We had a chart with a position on it somewhere. Or did we just delete it? Might have deleted it. Yeah, I think we deleted it. But y'all remember, you were there with me. You were there with me where we had indicated a short out of this area. And I get so busy. I honestly would make so much more money if I didn't stream. But that sucker's about at its target. And those shorts, in fact, did not get buried. Yeah, I mean that was though I guess, in all reality, as I mentioned, I knew I wasn't going to have any structure, any real great structure. You're dealing with 30-second structure there to confirm that with, but yeah, whatever. It's about at its target. Fairly bearish approach to the target, I might add, which gives me pause for this low actually holding and SFPing. You can't even structurally confirm an SFP off of it until clear up here, right? That's a pretty bearish sign. So we may indeed break this low. And then if we do break that low, just as a reminder, I will be looking. Why do I feel like this is not the right effing chart? It doesn't matter. We're just going to make it work. This needs to go away. So if we do break that low, I will, and we decided that was going to be a 30-minute candle body close, then I will be looking at this entire area as supply. The nicest area inside of it, in my opinion, is this section right here. And so in the event that, let's hop up time frames a little bit, maybe go to 10 minutes. In the event that we can crack this low here at what would you say it was 84 whatever, I keep hopping from chart to chart so the numbers keep changing. Yeah, if we can break it, ideal is there. I would say maybe even, yeah, I mean I'd be looking anywhere between these two zones right here. Just get up there, right? 86 to 84.6, somewhere in that area. I would be looking to try and clean off some of this shit liquidity that I made fun of yesterday. Yeah, I'd look to clean some of that off. If you can pull off a super sick Alex O crypto entry then you're well, then you're a ninja. Then you're a ninja. Yeah, this is my last thought. This is the final thought that I'm leaving you guys with. I know I gave you a lot of information today, but this is my final thought. Where are you looking for to retrace the short? Boom! I was already ahead of you, sucker. Yeah, this is the area. This is the area. All right, man. Cheers, team. Been a pleasure. Been a pleasure. Been a pleasure. I'm over 500 subscribers. I don't even know what to do about that.